Hi everybody and welcome back. My name's Alison, the online piano and the online violin tutor. This is my new Learn to Play the Violin book 2, and it is a follow-on from my original violin lessons 1 to 10. They'll be linked directly underneath this video. This book is going to teach you the next stages in your learning, and it is aimed at beginners who have already learned the basics or everything that's in those videos 1 to 10, and you just want to progress on further and properly. It is available to purchase here. There'll be a link just coming up here. I will also put a link directly in the description bar underneath. And like all of my books, this book is 100% downloadable. In other words, it's an ebook. So I printed this out at home using my home printer, and then I just bound it together using my spiral binder. So this book also comes with a songbook too as well. So the 10 pieces in here will contain all of the skills and all the techniques and everything that you will have learned from this book. So if you want to progress on to the next stages in your learning, then grab your copy of the books and let's get going. Okay, with lesson 14, we actually do get on to playing the violin, yay. And this one is talking about all of the other notes on the violin. So far we've just been kind of going on about the second finger and everything, but now I want to add in some more fingerings and some other notes that are really important to play, and I guess to kind of fast track that experience, because obviously I realise that this whole situation isn't interactive, so I can't physically talk to you guys. That'd be great if I could, but I can't. So I'm kind of bearing in mind that you guys are self-teaching, and you guys have got a lot of time in your hands, and so you can learn at your own pace and everything. So what I've done here on this little chart is just written down all of the notes and all of the fingers. I've color coded it as well. So if you're going to print this out, I would advise that you do print it out in color, because I've color coded it for a specific reason. So actually I've written it there that I have as well. So it gives you the 4 open strings, it gives you the first finger notes in the different positions, the second finger notes are in orange, the third finger notes and the fourth finger notes. So some of you that may already know this information and maybe a little bit more advanced might know that you can play some of these notes with different fingers, but these are the most obvious ones that I have done. So for example, if we just start on the G string, so if we start on the left hand column, I'm going to go from the top to the bottom. So you've got the open G string, and then we've got an A flat. So the first finger note can either go on the line or on the dot there, which would be indicated by a purple A. You've also got an A flat, which is right back to, remember in one of the lessons I was talking about, you want to go right back to where you can feel the ridge or the nut of the violin. So you can see A, E, B and F sharp. That hits on that line, and that line is basically that horizontal line that you can just about see there, refers to these dots, or to these dots here. The line underneath it in green where you've got the letters C, G, D and A all sitting on another horizontal line. That's obviously that indicates this third finger line here that doesn't move. The first finger and the third finger doesn't move. It's always going to be in the same place, all these dots or the lines. Okay, so on the G string you've got open G, you've got A flat, oops sorry, wrong way. A flat is going to be there, just behind the nut. Then you've got A, which moves into a regular first position. Moving on to the second finger notes, which are now in orange. You've got a B flat, which jams in right next to it. Then you've got a normal B, which is just behind the third finger dot. Then the third finger notes gives you a C, which is on the dot, a C sharp. Remember when we did A major scale? That third finger was slightly stretched, that will give you a C sharp. And then we've got a fourth finger, which will give you D, which is the same as an open D, the open D string above it. So on and so forth with the notes there. So again, I kind of put that in as a little bit of a fast track. So when you guys are looking at the music and you've got a B flat, a high B flat, for example, you don't know where that is, well, you can refer to that chart, have a look at it, and you can at least think, right, so A in green is on that third finger line, so B flat is just right next door to it. So that chart is just really there for your information, so it just kind of fills in the gaps from all the other notes that we may not have covered. But all of these notes should pretty much be covered in all the scales that we've done. There may be the odd one, maybe two notes in here that we haven't actually technically played through with doing the scales, but I mean, I'm sure you guys can cope with extra 1 or 2 notes there. So if you want to know where those notes are, those are there. You can get the stickers that you put on the fingerboard of the violin, which kind of is pretty much this but in a sticker. I just hate those because they are so confusing, and there is more than one way to play a note. For example, the stretched third finger, for example, on the G string, so the third finger that goes on the dot, if it goes slightly above the dot, that's also known as a C sharp. You might see it as a D flat. Chances are you're probably going to play more of a C sharp. You're not going to see a D flat at this point in your learning. So just even by explaining this, you guys can probably see how confusing it is. So don't get those stickers. I don't think you need those stickers. If you want to get a don't fret sticker with more of the lines on, like one of these for example, if you want to get one of these stickers and stick them on the fingerboard of your violin, then I kind of, yeah, I can just about cope with that. But again, I just don't think you need them on there. I just think you need to put the first finger dot on the third finger dot and learn the rest of it. Why, you have things like this and you're not really learning because you're relying on lots of other things to tell you the answers to everything. So I know it requires brain and thinking and stuff like that, but it really is quite simple, and it's all cumulative information. So if you're learning one little step at a time, it's like building blocks. You're not learning everything all at once. If you're learning one step at a time, it's much easier to learn that way. Okay, so to finish off lesson 14, there is a piece called Meadow Air, and I'm going to play that through for you. Okay, so the reason why I have put this in here is because I wanted to mix up the second fingers specifically in here. So looking at the key signature, you've got three sharps: F sharp, C sharp and G sharp. C sharp is the one that's in the middle, and we know from our scale or from the finger chart on the page before this that our C sharp on the A string is going to be here, just sort of jammed in right behind the third finger. So you will notice that the fourth bar or the fourth measure on the first line, the first note is a C natural. So that little symbol there is a natural sign, which means it's just a normal C. So according to the key signature, it should be a C sharp, but for this occasion, this particular note, at this particular time in the music, it just wanted you to play a normal C. So what that means is C natural is here. So a C sharp is here, right next door to where the third finger would be. A C natural is right next door to where the first finger would be. So when you see a C natural or a C with that little natural sign in front of it, then it's going to be here. I should also mention as well, the rule goes that the key signature, any sharps that you see on here, applies to all of the notes, all of the Fs, all of the E, all of the Cs and all of the Gs, no matter whether they're high, low, anywhere. This is just like, the king of the land, he tells everybody what to do, and that is that. And when you've just got the odd little notes here, so you've got hopefully that could be in focus there, when you've got a little natural sign at the front here, this one is going to be a C natural. All the Cs after it in this bar only are also going to be C natural. So this is like, I don't know, like a lord who might be in control of just one particular section of that kingdom, if you like. I know it's a bit of a random analogy. So in measure bar or measure 5 or bar 5, you've got a C natural at the start here, then you've got a B, the C after it is also going to be a C natural. Then you've got a D, then the note after that is also a C natural, and then the next note is a D, and then that kind of rule doesn't apply anymore. It's back to C sharps, unless obviously it says otherwise. Just a quick note about the time signature here. It's in 6/8, so you've got 6 quavers or 6/8 notes in a bar. Again, I don't want you to get too hung up about this because I do go on to explain rhythm a little bit later on. I'm hoping that you guys at the moment are just gonna follow more of my tune. Don't get too bogged down with it though, particularly. This is more of an exercise for the second finger. The other thing I just want to mention as well, that this little symbol here, this line, this thick line with the 2 dots is just a repeat. So when I started at the beginning, you'll probably notice that instead of moving on, I actually went back to the beginning and repeated it again. It's up to you if you want to repeat that or not. I just thought it sounded really nice, so I did. So that's lesson 14, and I'll see you in lesson 15.